welcome to another Mad Hatter review. It's very early here, okay, very tired, but my baby woke me up and I could not go back to sleep, okay? But I did want to make a video, all right? I did want to talk about this comment right here, okay? And I'm not going to trash this guy, okay? Because it wasn't like a mean comment, but it's just something that I disagree with. And then I think there could be a bigger point, is what I want to say. So this is in reference to the Jurassic Park crowdfunding. And I wanted to just make a video about my thoughts about crowdfunding in general. And I do have some thoughts about the dangers of crowdfunding and the main thing that is wrong with crowdfunding. Now, all that being said, I realize that many of us participate in crowdfunding, myself included. We do it on a very innocent level. It's because we want the stuff, okay? If there's a HISS tank up there, there's no other way to get it except crowdfund, and I'm not going to pay scalper prices. And so this video is not an indictment of anybody who crowdfunds, okay? I would never say, oh, if you're crowdfunding this, you're part of the problem, you're this and that. It is what it is, okay? We're all innocent little beings in this great big machine. My issue is more with with the machine, with crowdfunding itself. And so I just wanted to just go over this. So, all right, so he wrote, there is something you are missing. Crowdfunding is not and will never be about you buying a product. Crowdfunding is a method of raising the money it takes to pull off a mass release of an item, so they post the item to the crowd at a higher price and offer you the chance to be the first to receive special add-ons. They are also offering you the chance to have the first edition of the toy, who cares, or product that you are helping them fund. There are many crowdfunding campaigns where no item is received at all. You are just joining a design team. I'm not sure where people got the idea. If you crowdfunded something, you deserve every penny back in product form. It is quite often the opposite, but you get the ability to say this product could not have been created without your help, okay? So I really was going to smash this guy, but even though I disagree fully with what he's saying, I get the origin of what he's talking about. You know, there's a lot of like these Indiegogo campaigns, Kickstarter campaigns, where you don't get anything. You know, it's just like some artist wants to raise money, maybe for to make a film or to make some comic book or something like that, and sometimes you're just donating money to that person in order to get his art made or her art made or whatever. This is different than a giant corporation that's asking for money. By the way, the literature, sorry, all of a sudden I brain farted there. The literature on the campaign is very much an exchange. And because the source is a corporation and not some like small mom and pop thing, the higher price excuse that he's giving it does not hold water, okay? Because this is being released pretty much in the same quantities that it would be released in stores, okay? When they set up the crowdfund and they say 5,000, that number, that MOQ is deciphered ahead of time because that's what's worth it for them, okay? It's not a specialty tax. It's not a, well, you know, we're a small company that's only making so many of them, so we have to up the price. They are getting theirs. That doesn't hold water for me. And it led me to just kind of like think about what I consider three main problems with these crowdfunding endeavors. Okay, one of the problems, although it's not on the list of three that I have, is a lot of these things are tone deaf. Now that's not across the board. Okay, there are ones that are right on the money. They know what people want, like the HISS tank. They knew the audience. They knew exactly what they would want, and by extension, I think the Dragonfly, although the tier that they have didn't really excite anybody, but things like this Jurassic Park gate, they're tone deaf. Things like the Engine of Vengeance, they're tone deaf. It's like if you even thought that this was going to go through, and Jurassic Park still might go through, but it's not landing in a great way. It's not landing like the GI Joe classified stuff. It's not landing like Galactus or anything like that. But aside from that, so the three main problems that I have with crowdfunding, the first one is the ethical one, okay, and that's probably, unfortunately, the one that matters the least in the spectrum of buying things and in the spectrum of corporations, because they're not ethical. They don't care, okay? As much as corporations say they care about shit, they don't care. Corporations care about money, okay? By design, okay? So if you care about money, you can't also care about something else equally, okay? You can't care about two things at the same time and mean it, okay? You at some point have to make a choice. So there is an ethical practice of corporations asking for money. There's an ethical conflict in that. It's akin to like a multimillionaire asking for money on the street next to a homeless guy, okay? Is it legal? Yes, it is. But is it fucked up? Yeah, it is, okay? You don't need the money. You could create this if you wanted to. And it most likely, if you keep the MOQ somewhat low, will sell out and you'll make your money back anyway, okay? So ethics is the first one. But again, unfortunately, it's the least important. The second one is baked in price of the tiers. That's the problem, is that when they put up Engine of Vengeance and when they put up this Jurassic Park gate or whatever, they're baking the price of all the tiers into that thing, okay? They will be caught dead before they give you a Jurassic Park gate with a rover and figures and a T-Rex for $100 or $150. It's not going to happen, okay? But they should, because that's how it should work. It should work that you're buying the gate, but because they got to such a high quantity, you're getting freebies, okay? It's not really free, but it's in the cost of the Kickstarter. But the problem is that they bake all of that into the Kickstarter. And I feel like it's only been happening recently, okay? I feel like earlier crowdfunds, you paid for just the thing, and I felt like you were getting at least somewhat of a good deal once it hit the tiers. So yeah, they're coming at you with the price of everything included, that's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be higher quantity, you get a great deal for what you paid, but that's not the case. Number three, and this is the worst one, this is the most egregious of them, is very, very simply, you don't get the stuff. If it doesn't make it, you don't get the stuff, and you probably never get the stuff, okay? That is the worst one, because if that Engine of Vengeance doesn't make it, if the Jurassic Park gate doesn't make it, if all of these other ones don't make it, the Nitro stage doesn't make it, they're not going to second chance that, okay? Once something doesn't make the Kickstarter, to the companies, it has a stench on it. It's got a stigma, okay? It's now an item that was a failure. Do you think that like all of these guys at Mattel want to bring that up, okay? Do you think that they want to be the one that say, you know what, the Nitro stage, it failed, but let's try to bring it out in stores. And then God forbid, if that doesn't make money, that dude's career is over, okay? So that's the biggest problem, is that once it fails, that item is persona non grata for the companies. And that's an issue, okay? Because that's the biggest issue. You're not going to get the toy anymore. As opposed to if they just released it in stores, because I guarantee you, if that Rancor came out at a decent price in stores, eventually it would have sold out, okay? And that's part of the problem, is that these crowdfunds, they don't accurately determine the demand, okay? When the Rancor misses its mark by 500, does that mean that was the exact amount of people that would have bought the Rancor if it came out in stores? No, okay? There are a lot of reasons why people don't crowdfund. People that don't pre-order. There's people that want to see the product first before they commit to it. So I think if they were to have just had the balls to just say, we're going to release it in stores, maybe at a lower price, not the baked-in price, eventually it would have caught up and it would have made its money and it would have sold out. These crowdfunds they're not accurate in terms of the demand that figure has. That Jurassic Park gate, if you priced it right and released it in stores, it will eventually sell. So that's the biggest issue that I have is that at the end of the day, if it does not make it, you just don't get it, okay? Versus if, they just put it out there, again, even in lower quantities, at least it's a product that's out there. So that's just what I wanted to say about crowdfunding. So yeah, ethics baked in price, and just you don't get the stuff. It sucks. I wanted to make this video because a lot of times people are like, well, what's so bad about crowdfunding? You know what I mean? Why is it different than if I pre-order an item and get it? A pre-ordered item is an item that is going to come out. A crowdfund is a guess, okay? And again, besides the ethics of it, the biggest sin that it commits is that they think that there's not an audience for this. They're like, no, I guess people don't want that Rancor. That's not true, okay? They don't want it under your conditions and under your baked-in price, okay? But people do want it, and eventually it will sell out. Hell, it might sell out immediately because there's a lot of people I know that they got to see something in hand before they buy it. There's a lot of people like that. Anyway, that is the biggest danger of crowdfunding. That is the issue with crowdfunding and relying on crowdfunding, because now, that engine of vengeance, it's got a stench on it. And that's why other companies have to make it. Maybe that becomes the norm. Other companies just pick up the ball and make your money. Is that what has to happen? It's pretty fucking silly. And by the way, this is the kind of problem that eventually just solves itself, because people are not going to pay for things that are not worth it. That's, at the end of the day, people are forced to speak with their wallets. I think in a lot of people's eyes, no matter what you say about the price, or there's a whole debate about that, in a lot of people's eyes, the Hiss tank was worth it. In a lot of people's eyes, Galactus was worth it. When things do not become worth it, like the Engine of Vengeance, like Jurassic Park, it automatically, the system just falls apart on itself. So I don't know that there's anything you need to do. I think it just happens naturally. Shit that is not worth the price just implodes on itself, all right? If that Jurassic Park gate was properly priced, the system would be fine, okay? If it was like, let's say even $100 or $150, the system would be fine. But this stuff has a way of just seeing itself out the door. So it is what it is. So that's it. I just wanted to make this video. And once again, it is not an indictment of you as a buyer. It's not your fault that you want the only classified Hiss tank that's coming out. When you pay for that, you're not paying the corporation because you love the corporation. You're paying for the artistry and the design, the pure things about that product, the things that can't be argued, that great artists made it and you want it, okay? So in no way would I ever attack anybody that does that. I do that too, because we're just in this fucked up situation. So that's all. Crowdfunding is bad. I don't think it's a great plan. Okay, I think it started as a great plan, but they turned it into something it shouldn't be. Okay, with these just high prices and all that shit. But are they going to change? Who knows? Okay. By the way, this is a model that got started by people that needed it. That's also the fucked up thing. People that needed it started crowdfunding. Like if I want to make Flipboard, I'm going to have to crowdfund, okay, which is what I'm probably going to have to do. But now I'm in competition with all these other fucking giant multi-billion-dollar corporations that are asking for the same money. So I might not be able to get what I want to get made. And that's a lot of artists and it's a lot of people out there. So it's just shitty all around. But that's now it's really all. Comment, subscribe, drop me a like. See you next time. Bye-bye.